A couple of months ago, we installed the RV airflow systems in our 2021 Grand Design Imagine 2600 RB. It's now the 1st of June and warm enough to actually test the product. There are several videos that discuss the airflow improvement using RV airflow systems, but I've not seen one that discusses the improvement in temperature, which when you get to the end, that's really what you're looking for. While this is not an extreme test of the product, it is a test with a 91-degree outside day with the camper having sat in the sun. It's not been cooled prior to starting the test, and then timing step by step the temperature fall in the camper as the unit runs. I think this video gives a pretty good depiction of what you should expect when you pull in off the road on a pretty warm day, set up your camper, and plug up the air conditioner so that you can see what you should expect with the RV airflow systems. We've just gotten back from a trip for 2 weeks and back home now, where, as I figured, we're back in the middle of our normal heat. Today, temperature is about 91 degrees, and as you can see, we are pretty much in a shaded area here. So I'm trying to, as much as possible, develop something that I can call ambient temperature. If it were ambient humidity, I don't know what it would be today. It's ridiculous. So I'll show you what we're working on here. There's been a lot of interest on the RV airflow systems or any other means of keeping a camper cooler. So we did get to use it for the last couple of weeks. Of course, it wasn't in this type of temperature, but there were some things that we found out about it. So let me show you. As you can see, there is some sunlight that's coming through, but as a whole, pretty much shaded right now. So what I've done, I have a thermometer that has an internal and external temperature reading. So as it sits right here on the back bumper in the shade, it's showing that it's 89.9 degrees. As you can see, the thermometer on the thermostat that's in the master bedroom, not the only bedroom, is showing 92 degrees. And at this, it's showing that it's 5:30. So what I'm going to do is, right now the blinds are all open, and I'm going to pull the blinds to, and we'll check this for time and see how it works. So what we'll have is we'll have one thermometer here in the bedroom. We'll have this thermometer at the dinette, and then the other part of that thermometer we'll have in the bathroom, so that we can get a reading from one end to the other to see how it works. The one in the bathroom actually connects back to where it shows here, and I can see I got that in the dark. That'll clean up in a bit. So I'm gonna pull the shades, turn the air on high cool. All right, early on, we are 8 minutes in, and the temperature in the bathroom, that's this one in the middle, is 88.3. The one here at the dining room table is 89. And the bedroom is 89. We have just gotten back in today from a 2-week trip, so if things appear out of order, sorry about that. The variables with the weather are the variables with the weather. As you can tell, our cloudy afternoon has changed quite a bit. But this is probably a good test because, I mean, let's face it, it's 5:30 in the afternoon. Oftentimes you'll be coming off the road then or coming back into your camp then, and you're going to have these types of conditions. So you can tell it's still mostly shaded, and at the same time the bedroom catching a lot of sun up there. So it's certainly logical to believe that that room's going to be a little warmer than the rest of the house. Okay, we're about 20 minutes in now. The bathroom is showing to be 85.2. The dining room where we're at is 86.1. And the bedroom is 86. This is something that I've found with the airflow system that is absolutely an improvement, is the uniformity of the coverage. And even at that, I can show you that there's still some differences here, as you would expect. Of course, the unit being right here, well, you can see the kind of airflow that's coming, which is a little more than what it was before, I know from just the feel, but the airflow in the bathroom, well, if I turn the light switch on, compared to what it was, this is gigantic. In the bedroom, you can tell there's, still good airflow, certainly nothing like what you've got on the other two ends. Now, what I will say for this is that prior to having the airflow system installed, that I had to run a fan and set it up in the kitchen area to have it blowing into the bedroom. Otherwise, it was just too warm for me to sleep. And with this directed towards the bed, during the last 2 weeks, I have not taken that fan out at all. I think another something to point out in my very non-scientific study is the vents that I've got pointed. They are pointing away from the thermostat, not at. This is in the bedroom where you can tell. Of course, the thermometer there being on the dinette table, and the vent, while it is blowing that way, it's blowing more in the direction of the actual kitchen sink. And, well, let's see, there's another one here I didn't put any tape on, and it is blowing back in this direction, but at the same time the thermostat or thermometer is all the way down here, so there's no direct pointing of air at it. Then in the bathroom, you can see that it is pointed actually totally away from it. Let's see where we're at. So what are we, about 26, 27 minutes in? And we're showing bathroom is 85.6. The dinette is 84.5. And the bedroom is at 84. In case you missed it, this is a follow-up to a video that I did on the secret to cool your Grand Design Imagine, where I discuss the RV airflow system and did installation in that. The reason for the follow-up is all of the videos that I've seen on the RV airflow system discuss airflow, which it is significantly better, and they discuss being 40 cubic feet per minute and things such as this. Well, I want to see what's happening with the temperature, and I haven't found anyone who's discussed that. So that's the reason that I'm looking at the temperatures as we're moving through this. Now, there is absolutely a plus to the airflow, and I've seen some things that tell me, and I've been in contact with a representative at Grand Design, that they say that it's expected that you'll only be 20 degrees lower than the ambient temperature, and that makes sense. But what I see that you get here is that it cools much quicker and more evenly. In the last camper that I had where I was working during the summer, I had to close off both ends, drop the air straight through the ductwork here, or straight without ductwork, to cool one room to try to get it where I could survive, and then as night came, open it up. And then normally what I would do is leave the air dumped into this room and then take fan blow to the bedroom to get it where I needed it. That's not what I'm seeing so far, and what you've seen so far is that the temperatures have cooled pretty evenly from one side to the other here, and it is getting slower to make the temperature drops, which makes sense because it's just like filling up a tire. As you get closer to a higher level of pressure in it, it simply takes longer, and as you get to where you're dropping it lower and lower, it becomes harder and harder to make that drop. So I'm still wanting, the target in my mind is I'm trying, I would love to be able to see that 20-degree ambient temperature drop. I'm gonna be shocked if I can get it, but if I can get close to that, I'm gonna really be pleased. So we'll keep checking it. And the video that I spoke about earlier, that's on the channel Practicing Retirement, and you can find it there. All right, we are 40 minutes in. The temperature at the table here is 81.8. The bathroom is 84.9. And the bedroom is 82. I'm a bit surprised by the bathroom one, but again, I do know that the air is going totally away from it and having to work its way back, so we'll see how that progresses. You can see the sun is getting behind the trees, still up quite a ways though. We're close on the trees, but you don't see it reflecting off of the camper now. It looks like it probably just came off it. You can see where there's still a little sun on top of the house. Afraid I've run out of thermometers, so in the truck you can tell that we're up here at 91 degrees still outside, and that's at 6:13. Well, as you can tell, there's still a fair amount of sunshine coming through. So of course we started with an outdoor temperature at 91, still at 91, so I guess that's all I could ask for trying to be constant at this point. Well, while I'm waiting on that, I'll show you something that I bought that I've really been pleased with. The lighting in the camper, if you're watching TV, you know that it can be troubling. And so to come up with indirect lighting, and I know some people have come in and put dimmers in. Had not done that. I've just come out from under warranty, and so I wasn't wanting to touch anything. But this is something that's not light coming in from the window as it appears. That's light coming in behind the recliners. It's not the lights that are built into the recliners. And it puts off a fair amount of light, and it makes watching TV extremely comfortable. And sometimes it can just get too simple, but if I can get in there, may have to struggle just a bit. There we go. What you're looking at is a 48-inch shop light, an LED shop light. No way that I would try to do fluorescent back in there. LED, of course, very little temperature to it, pretty sturdy, and so have it plugged in. I actually have a multiple connector that I put back there, and then just whoop, lay the light back up in there. Then to make it work, remote control. Now, it's not like your TV, and it does require to be pretty darn close to on target with it, but how about that? So, for $29 at Costco, it was well worth the money. Okay. 1 hour. The bathroom temperature, 82.7. The dining room, if I can get that to focus well enough. I don't know if you can see it or not. There. 79.1. Bedroom, 78. Honestly, I'm a bit surprised that the bedroom is cooler than the bathroom. And so as I've looked at this and tried to understand it, I think it's pretty understandable when you really look. First of all, 2 small windows in the room. Then the sunlight, I have it blocked so there's nothing coming through. So most of the room is insulated. You can tell there's less breeze blowing in here. Now the temperature of the air is going to be the same at each point. So even though this is a larger room, it's cooler. Now, still a little confusing. Then in here, where we're at 79 degrees, and we've got 2 vents, we do have the one skylight, which I may end up covering that the more that I've played with this. Certainly, as you know, a lot of windows. But still, the bathroom almost 3 degrees warmer than in here. So as I look at it and try to understand it, you can see the amount of airflow that's coming through. It is going to be the same temperature. There's no way it can't be. So what I believe to be the case in here is that there's the skylight fan here. Then, of course, the big skylight here. And this, I'm going to say, is probably the biggest issue that you deal with. When that sun goes down, I can just tell you that this amount of air that pumps in here, you're going to find that this room is much cooler than the other rooms because you're pumping so much into a small space. I hope the information that we've gathered here will be helpful to you. It's still, I believe, the air conditioner can only make something so cold. The airflow certainly can deliver it faster, and then I think the wind chill factor that comes with that also makes a difference. Consider that all the doors are, interior doors are open, the slides out. So at that point, in an hour, I think the space has cooled relatively well. I can assure you it's much better than what it was before I'd installed the airflow system. Well, as I mentioned earlier, we've just came back off the road. We were, matter of fact, came in this afternoon. We were gone for 14 days, and I'll be putting together videos on that trip. There were some really neat places we went to. A place that I'd been before, Gadsden, Alabama. It's a Harvest Host stop there, Wills Creek, that stopped at it last October and stopped there again. Just enjoy the place, beautiful place. Then we went up to 2 Tennessee state parks, and that was Falls Creek Falls State Park, and that's one that has the tallest waterfall in the state of Tennessee, and that park just has so many things in it. It's incredible. It is full-scale entertainment if you want to go spend some time. Then we went to Rock Island State Park. Then we ran up to Bowling Green, Kentucky. At Bowling Green, Kentucky, we went to the National Corvette Museum. Then we made a run over to Bardstown, Kentucky, which is a really pretty little town. Population last they showed was 11,700 people. And from there, we're 40 miles south of Louisville, Kentucky, so we went up to Churchill Downs. Then the same day we rode over to the Louisville Slugger factory, and that was surprisingly more interesting than I thought it would be. Then we came back down to Bardstown, stayed the night there, and then went on to Loretto, Kentucky. Loretto, Kentucky, population of, last I saw, 790 people, and is home to Maker's Mark Distillery. So each one of these I would highly suggest to you, if there's something in there that clicks your trigger, or if you've not looked at some of these videos will be coming out shortly. So during the next, I don't know, we've still got to get unpacked and then got to go back to work, but during the next few weeks I'll be bringing these out. And so if you'd like to see those, if you would subscribe to the channel, you'll see them when they come out. If not, just whenever you get an opportunity, come out and view them. I think you'll enjoy them. Listen, once again, I appreciate your time, appreciate your watching. Thank you.